people who can have dominion over creation in order to really develop the proper character. Mother is really inspiring us to witness and bless 43 couples. And the mother gave a 100-day course. And the mother called all the pastors in Korea. And right now, because of COVID-19, the situation is not easy. But even though she knew, she said that Korea must be the example, that the providence must begin in Korea. And through the Hundok reading, you could feel Mother's heart. And after 50 days, Mother had a midterm report. And that report was really a profoundly moving reporting session where everyone was gathered together with Hyojung, with harmony. And that is why Mother gave the name. This is really a festival of stars. And through this festival of stars, really we could really see that the pastors and the leaders were all united. And Mother really said that after 50 days that will be the end, but on the 75th day as well, she had a gathering. On the 100th day she had another gathering. And really what was amazing is that the pastors have been working tirelessly. And all of this, Mother heard the situation of leaders who've been, some of them who have been selling their houses, selling their possessions, really for the sake of the providence. And looking at that, what I really felt was that, just like in Faust, what I remembered was there's something that is what is feminine, and Mother is really the representative female example. And and also one is amazing is that Mother has empathy. She empathizes with her children. And there are many leaders also. You have all of your parents, but when a young child really cries, for example, the baby is crying, and sometimes the father may not hear as well, but the mother hears it very well. And really all of humanity can really hear. So Mother can really hear the cries of humanity. And during this 100-day course, Mother really embraced and supported everyone in Korea. And of course, one thing that was particularly inspiring is that after the 100-day course in Korea, Mother said that all the leaders around the world should walk this 100-day course. And that is why other regions of the world also had this 100-day course. And during the 50th day, we had a special gathering with Mother. And today, 100 days has passed around the world, and already Korea and Japan has finished. And now all the leaders around the world are gathered here. We are now having this festival of stars where all of the pastors can share best practices. And today what I really want to mention is that more than really sharing details, giving just opening remarks, I really want to share a little bit about why is it that Mother is emphasizing this course of witnessing 43 couples. It might be a strategy, but also providential strategy. Why 43 couples is important? It is not just to grow our church numbers, but it is really to innovate in terms of church growth. And what Father said is, in the family church, as written in the Cheon Seonggyeong, it does not just symbolizes one religious body or religious group. Originally, if Adam and Eve had accomplished an ideal couple, ideal family, and had really completed the 4 great realms of heart through the completion of the 3 great blessings, then the original Garden of Eden would have been realized. And that is why Mother mentioned that the Chombo course, the Chombo families, this is really an innovative movement where we can really see that all our members are working tirelessly to realize these 4 great realms of heart and 3 great kingships. And really we want to share today, and I will share what I have felt, and also some of the details about the providence that Mother has shared. So first, I want to share a PowerPoint with you. And the 61st anniversary of True Parents Holy Wedding was a great victory, and all the leaders have worked tirelessly. And Mother mentioned this is my first experience, but I went in the morning, and Mrs. McDevitt said that the first thing she mentioned was thank you. And I'm very grateful. And so we are now in a new springtime of the Providence, and after the 60-year course of True Parents, for the past 60 years, True Parents completed this 60-year course, and Heavenly Parents Day, True Parents Day, and True Parents Holy Wedding Anniversary are now being celebrated together. And regarding this event, how much did Mother worry and think about? Many leaders came to Korea, but as soon as you came, they had to do 14 days of quarantine, and I really wondered, because the COVID-19 situation is difficult, what should we do? But Mother said, invite leaders to come. Those who can come should come. And for the first time in 14 months since 2020 last year, 14 leaders came to Korea. They completed 14 days of quarantine, and they returned to their nations. And why did this happen? Because in this new springtime of the Providence, in this new era, Mother really wanted to bequeath and celebrate this time. And this was a really an incredible time. And after that, Mother said, thank you. I'm very, very grateful. This was not just to me at all. It was to the leaders. It was to the members. It was for everyone who has gathered from around the world. And this really was Mother who implemented all of it. And Mother said, I'm grateful that you are here. And in particular, with regards to Think Tank 2022, the chairs of Chun Yuan, the regional president, and the UPF chairs, if you did not support, it would be impossible. And the testimony said, Han Ki-moon came to Think Tank 2022. He became the chairman. And there were so many moving testimonies about that. And regarding this, I really felt that I want to bow to all the leaders and really thank you, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. And to all of the leaders, I want to give a big round of applause. Thank you very much for your hard work. And after that, Mother went to Heavenly America and was victorious in all of the events. And there was also the celebration of the Day of All True Things, and also the celebration of the 67th anniversary of Heavenly Parents Holy Community. And Mother was really happy, and all the leaders who also participated were profoundly moved. And in particular, the event in Heavenly America was really moving because the Pilgrim Fathers who arrived in 1620 through the Mayflower, and they went in search of religious freedom, landed in America, and this was the first year after 400 years. And in 1971, True Parents went to America, and this year celebrates the 50th anniversary of True Parents' departure for America, and it is also the 60th anniversary of True Parents' arrival in Busan, 70th anniversary, and True Mother celebrated two great visions, and this was really an incredible proclamation, and Mother really made profound declarations in America that centering on New York and Washington, Mother really wants to renovate America, revive America, and bring a new heavenly unified Korea and heavenly unified world. And regarding this event, Dr. Chung Shik-yong and Reverend Kim Ki-hoon, Dr. Jenkins worked really hard, and the members and leaders all united as one. And we're able to offer a great victory to True Parents. Let us give a round of applause to Dr. Chok Shin-yong and the American leaders and members. And after that, Of course, we had the retirement. We also had the 15-year service award, and also regional presidents recommended pastors and families for the Hyojang Awards. And also we had the testimony of the family of Sasamoto. Wasn't that moving? And going forward in this era of Heavenly Parents Holy Community, we want to innovate in the area of ministry, and we want to also firmly establish a proper administrative system. And also in particular, Korea, it was founded on May 5, but on May 3rd, but Father changed the date of May 1st. And this year, it was changed to Family Federation for World Peace and Unification in Korea legally. And now HSAUWC has been legally changed from HSAUWC to FFWPU in Korea. And also, the foundation also changed to FFWPU. And right now around the world, there are 87 nations where FFWPU is officially legally registered, but the names are not similar. There are some places where it's HSA, other places where it is FFWPU, where it's registered as Unification Church. There are places where it's registered as HSA. So regarding that, this time, as we celebrate the 67th anniversary of the unification movement in America and around the world, you have dates when FFWPU was registered. But from now on, we will all celebrate the founding of Family Federation on the same day. And this 67 year of history will be connected to all of the foundation worldwide. And from now on, in 194 nations, we need to register Family Federation and UPF. And centering on IHQ, we will implement this project, and also UPF YSP is also not registered in some regions, and therefore with regional presidents we will discuss this and register these organizations. And we also want to implement an official missionary assignment program. And in this era of the first establishment of Cheonilguk, there are places where the Unification Church is registered. The articles of associations are all different, but we need to have a uniform set of articles of association that are uniform in this era of a Heavenly Parents Holy Community. Therefore, we will make a sample model articles of associations that can be used worldwide. I hope that all the regions can support this initiative. And this is just opening remarks. There's of course a providential point, but after the opening of Heavenly Parents Holy Community, there are 6 major miracles, and among these 6 miracles, we have innovation in ministry, in worship, in church structure, and I want to share about why is it so important to have the path of Chonshim Chonbo for the substantial witnessing of 43 couples. I want to share these details with you. And you are all aware of this content. In 2013, True Mother really opened Cheonilguk, and through the 7-year course, we know what the path that True Parents have walked. And last year, True Mother proclaimed the firm establishment of the cosmic nation of peace and unity. Mother gave these words recently that following Father's ascension, I pledged to walk this path. And when I made this pledge, my heart was as if I was a small boat on a stormy sea. And the Mother also said that at the time when my body could not move, and I had to bring victory, I had to bring miracles. And looking back, I really see how painful, how difficult, and how painful the path that Mother walked must have been. And as you all know, Mother really, right now, her her legs were very uncomfortable, and this is not because she's old, it is because she really pushed herself. And when we had the proclamation of the heavenly Africa continent, there was a blackout at the FNB stadium and the elevators didn't work, and because of that, mother had to walk about 130 stairs. But she said, I will walk down these flights of stairs. And she walked down one by one, each step. And I cannot explain that how I felt, because mother walked down each step as if she was really trying to restore each person, and this was really mother's heart of restoration. And I really felt that the final 40-day course for the restoration of the cosmic Canaan course, really mother risked her life for the sake of that one period. And I felt it was really a path for that victory. You all remember how what the difficult path mother walked. And that is why when mother proclaimed the firm establishment of Chanilguk on the 60th anniversary of True Parents' Holy Wedding and the centenary of True Father's birth, really at the national and at the continental level, the foundation for the firm establishment of Heavenly Parent was established. And mother did not rest at all. Already from this year, we should walk the 7-year course. But mother brought forward the providence in February of last year. During the victory celebration, she had the launch of the Providence until 2027. And until 2022, she wants to mobilize the entire global foundation to Korea. And she mentioned we need to have a heavenly unified Korea, so that on 2027, in the Chanil Sanctum, on the foundation of the restoration of the continent, she wants to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Heavenly Parents' Day. As you all remember, looking back, this really was a course for the firm establishment of Heavenly Parent, the realization of not just one family under God, but a great cosmic family. So heaven and earth under the Heavenly Parent. So mother has been walking this 7-year course, and the next 7 years for this goal to realize this, not just one family under God, but the cosmic family encompassing heaven and earth under the Heavenly Parent. When mother gave the term Heavenly Parent's Holy Community, when mother spoke of Heavenly Parent, at the beginning we did not understand, but this was a perfect plan that mother had. When she visited in 2013, mother said, Heavenly, Shin is not new, it means heavenly. And in 2017, she proclaimed Heavenly Osaka, Heavenly Japan, Heavenly America, Heavenly Europe, Heavenly Africa, Heavenly Latin America, Heavenly Asia Pacific. She opened the era of the heavenly continents. In the Divine Principle, page 197, it is written that the returning Lord comes as an individual, but needs to come and build a family, a tribe, nation, and on the foundation of restoring the nation, muster, restored, and go all the way to the kingdom of heaven, in heaven and on earth and in heaven. Therefore, Father in the spirit world and Mother on earth are working to realize the cosmic Canaan course. And on that foundation, during the firm establishment of the cosmic nation of peace and unity, Mother proclaimed the absolute unity of True Parents with Heavenly Parent, and she proclaimed Heavenly Parent's Holy Community. And since Heavenly Parent's Holy Community has been proclaimed, we can now have a Chonbo Providence, the great cosmic family under God. Until 2022, this is our goal regarding Heavenly Korea. All the continents and all the nations around the world will focus on Heavenly Korea, and the Family Federation will be kind of a religious body. It is the Chonbo family, and the UPF will really play the role of a headwing unification movement or the able UN. So Chonbo families have one goal, which is the substantial witnessing of 43 couples, and Mother is leading the providence along these lines. Regarding Heavenly Korea, first Mother wanted to have pastors witness 43 couples, and in Korea, those people who have witnessed 43 couples, they can now select 9 families, Chombo families, and each of these 9 families will now also in turn witness 43 couples in substance to be registered next year in 2022. And if Chombo families can move to the level of the tribe, going beyond the family churches, they will become tribal, national level pastors, they will become international level pastors. And the last stage will be when all blessed families can witness each 43 couples. And this is not for the sake of growing our church numbers, but it is really for each family to be able to accomplish the 4 great realms of heart and the 3 great blessings. And Family Federation will walk along this path until 2022. And there are many nations where we do not have Chombo families. And in Korea, we had 1,690 families who were registered as Chombo families. And among the 1,690, and we have, for example, in Japan, we have also other nations, but we are going to work so that all the families can each witness 43 couples. And the mothers also said that those families who witness 43 singles and bring them to the blessing will have fulfilled the requirement for 430 families. And also when there are second and third generations, when they receive the blessing, they can also be recognized as the achievements of the pastors, because around the world we have 67,000 second gens who are between the ages of 23 and 43, and 55,000 of them are not coming to church. That's the reality of our youth. And that is why through the Hyojong Youth Blessing Festival, we can now have a brand for the blessing, and we now have a vow of commitment. And the first generations made a resolve to join the church, but second generations need to make a vow of commitment to maintain purity and receive the blessing. They need to have a clear identity. And from March 27, we had this achievement. And I'm really speaking centering on Family Federation. And this is the message that Mother gave on May 8th about the era of Heavenly Parents' Holy Community. And I think that 6 miracles were possible. What miracles were possible? First, that we can become substantial temples of God. And in the Christian church, we have ecclesia. We are the body of Christ. But we can become Chombo families. It is the treasures and substantial temples of Heavenly Parent. Therefore, when looking at everything, we Chombo families are Heavenly Parents, a holy community. You are the treasure of heaven, because we are now the children of God, and these Chombo families are the substantial temples of Heavenly Parent. Please remember this. That is why last year on May 8, when Heavenly Parents Holy Community was proclaimed, on October 10 at 10 a.m., we had a great Chombo registration festival. You all remember this. And the first thing Mother said was, how much have we waited and yearned for this day? And Heavenly Parent has really yearned for this day so that God could realize one family of humanity. This was the original ideal of creation. If Adam and Eve had not fallen, they would have had children, and they would have had children, a tribe, a nation. They would have completed the 3 great blessings, the 4 great realms of heart, and they would have become substantial Chombo families. They would have accomplished the perfection of the substantial spirit, and also with the mind and the body will be completely united. So what we consider to have reached perfection, maturity. Originally, in the Garden of Eden, maturity meant for Adam and Eve not to eat of the fruit until the age of 21. It means that Adam and Eve should have maintained purity and reached maturity to receive the blessing. And after that, after receiving the blessing, it is perfection of the family. Of course, the couple, the husband and the wife, should really become, they are holy individuals, but they need to realize the four position foundations. But when this couple, at the beginning, there are some challenges, and there are some differences in terms of the levels of love or the languages of love they may have. But of course, the third blessing is dominion over creation, but also through these 43 couples, we can have perfection of dominion. And that is the meaning of the witnessing of 43 couples. So, for example, I will explain this in more detail. If, for example, I have a child, and this, of course, you all have this experience, but when I was in Cheonjeongung, and sometimes I'm tired, and I go home, and also I go home, and I feel like going home is a new job, is like going to work again, because my children, they come, they jump on my legs, and they want attention. But if I tell my eldest daughter is 8 years old, and I had to wash her, and I was so tired, and she said, "No, you have to wash me." I was so exhausted, but she didn't care. She said, "You have to wash me, Dad." And so I had to wash her hair. I had to turn on the YouTube. I had her sing her song. I had to massage her foot. And as I washed her hair, I really pulled her hair. And she said, "Why are you pulling my hair? Why are you washing my hair so roughly?" So I have to, at 10 p.m., I have to really forget about how tired I am and wash her. So I really felt like I'm a servant of my children, and my daughter is like my Lord. And so what true parents speak, we need to experience the heart of parents in the shoes of a servant. And this is really not just in terms of mission work, but even in our families. We need to develop that heart with our families, with our partners, with our spouse, husbands, with our children. And I'd like to talk about my daughter, for example, because she resembles me. She's a girl, but I thought she would resemble my wife, but she resembles me anyways. My daughter brought some friends. And if she brought her friends and she said, "You have to wash me," I would say, "No, absolutely not." So I felt that this is really my family, only my children, my parents, my wife. And within this seeming selfishness of family, we need to go beyond. So what helps us go beyond our individual families? It is the tribe. That is why true parents blessed 36 couples, 72 couples, 4 couples, all the way to 430 couples. And already by 430 couples, HSA was already founded. So this course of 430 couples is the course of tribal messiahs we need to walk. True parents have shown us this course. If we go to the spirit world, according to true parents, the spirit world is a world of the heart and of love. We need to experience the heart of a servant. We need to experience the heart of true love. And in Confucianism, this is known as Konghu, which is study. But in the East, it's called study. And it is a training of the body. It is experiencing. Without experiencing love, you cannot know what love is. That is why the witnessing of 43 couples is not to increase our numbers. It is the training. It is a path. It is a workshop for each one of us to complete and develop the 3 great blessings and the 4 realms of heart. Therefore, Mother mentioned with the inner of the firm establishment, we need to be happy. We need to establish churches where we do not feel duty bound to go, but where we are happy to go. If people see a fun movie, they want to watch it. For example, even if people don't talk about if a movie is fun, people want to watch it. You know, people, for example, say, "Oh, the latest Fast and the Furious movie is fun." People want to watch. So that's how we should change our culture. This is how we should change the culture of our church. So the witnessing of 43 couples is, of course, church growth and national restoration. But more importantly, for each couple, each blessed family, it is really a path of training to accomplish the 4 great realms of heart and the 3 great blessings. And this path is the Chonbo path. And I have a PhD in Confucianism and Buddhism, but Christianity, when we speak of Kidok, it's Christ. So when we speak of Christianity, we start as a Christ, and in Hebrew it's Messiah, and in Latin it is Christ, and also in Korea, if we say it in the Chinese accent, it is Kidok. So the teachings of Christ. And what are the teachings of Christ? It is to believe in Jesus. So Jesus Christ, it is a name, original name. Even if we believe in Jesus, we cannot become Jesus. And that is why in the Romans, even Luther, he mentioned that we are saved through our faith. So we need to believe in Jesus. Even if we believe Christ for billions of years, we cannot become Christ, but we should believe in Christ. That is why Paul Tillich said that the ultimate revelation, Christ is an ultimate revelation. This is the essence of Christianity. But in the case of Buddhism, we need to follow the teachings of Buddha. But what is the teaching of Buddha? It is to become Buddhas. So all the people can become Buddhas. So Buddha is now not a proper noun, it is a common noun. So it's different from Christ. So what is emphasized in Buddhism? It is not faith, but it is actions. It is your training. It is the path that you walk. It is how you polish your character. So when I asked Mother, because with a humble heart, I asked Mother, what kind of religion are we? And Mother said, we are the church, the religion of true parents. So we should follow true parents' teachings. What is the teaching of true parents? To become true parents. So what we should understand here is that there is only one true parent of humanity. There's only one Messiah of humanity. And there's only are the true parents of one true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. And among the true children, there are some who have been really misunderstanding this. We need to believe the Messiah. That is how we can have the change of lineage. That's how we can be engrafted onto the true olive tree. And that is how our original sin can be removed. However, we can become national messiahs. We can become tribal messiahs, and therefore when the Messiah of humanity appoints national messiahs and appoints us to be tribal messiahs, we now have a messianic identity. So there is only but one true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, and one Messiah, but we must become tribal messiahs and national messiahs through following the path to becoming substantial true parents. That is why, according to True Mother's teaching, because we didn't have the requisite environment. That is why in the past, before the firm establishment of Cheonilguk, faith was important. But now, in the era of the firm establishment of Cheonilguk, practice is important. We need to become substantial true parents, substantial messiahs. And the way to do that is by walking the path of the course of Chonshim. What does this mean? It means perfecting the 4 great realms of heart and the 3 great blessings. That is why witnessing 43 couples, it's not something we should ask each other, did you pledge? Did you really witness 43 couples? Are your spiritual children coming to church? Are they really being blessed? That is not the aim. The aim is really whether these 43 couples have really joined the realm of Heavenly Parents' heart and true parents' blessing. That is what's important. So Mother is emphasizing this point in this era of the firm establishment of Cheonilguk. So now Mother is not just giving us a conditional registration as Chonbo families, but we need to substantially become actual Chonbo families. That is why we need to fulfill 430 couples, but if it's not possible, first through the witnessing and blessing of 43 couples, we can really establish the foundation, the standard for perfection of character of the couple and dominion. And that is why the perfection of dominion is important. And this is possible through the training, through witnessing 43 couples. And that is why the environment of Heavenly Parents Holy Community has been established. And now Heavenly Parent is now alive with us through Heavenly Parents Holy Community. And we are now Chonbo families who are the treasures of heaven. This is an amazing miracle, and that is why Mother said, how blessed and how much have we waited for this day. This is the first sentence Mother mentioned, and you all remember because we all participated. And also all the people, when you become Chonbo families, you will all receive the certificate from True Parents, the calligraphy from True Parents for all Chonbo families from Europe, from North America, from Africa. You worked so hard. And to all the leaders, once again, let's give a round of applause to all of the leaders and members who became victorious Chonbo families. And the second miracle is because Heavenly Parent Holy Community was established, Chonbos became established, and now we are now expanding we can realize the ideal of one cosmic family under the Heavenly Parent. And we can now have the cosmic family of humanity under the Heavenly Parent, meaning connecting heaven and earth. And now we can realize the heavenly unified world. And if the heavenly unified world is established, we can open the heavenly unified cosmos. And you remember Dr. Legg, isn't it? In Asia, together with Dr. Yong, they became the first victorious heavenly tribal messiahs. And Korea, Japan, Asia, Mother really launched all of this, Africa, Europe, in Latin America, and in this very difficult circumstances, you worked so hard. And also, the Chonbo Great Works was amazing, and I told Prophet Radebe to join the Chonbo Great Works from 6 months ago, and I've been teaching him about the Chonbo Providence. And Prophet Radebe, because he contributed to National Restoration, he could be a Chonbo families, but Mother thought, and then she said that he needs to witness, bless, and liberate his ancestors, and that's why we asked. I told him that he should join Chonbo Great Works, and Prophet Radebe said he doesn't believe in 430 generations. In the case of Korea, there's a family lineage, and this family lineage. My family name is Yun, and there are 43 generations of Yuns, and from all my grandfather, we have 42 generations, but we don't know who is beyond 42 generations. So it's difficult to believe that there are 430 generations, but all the members and all the leaders believe in 430 generations. This is amazing. You are amazing. So why is the liberation of 430 generations important? It is our awakening that Adam and Eve are our ancestors in substance. So the returning Lord and the only begotten daughter and our true parents can engraft, really can connect us to our original ancestors, Adam and Eve. So Prophet Radebe also, as you all saw, he participated in the Great Works Workshop in the 60 the events you see in all his churches. They all participated, and they wore white clothes, and they sang Holy Song number 6. They applauded, they danced, and I really felt that this is even a faster way of chasing away evil spirits. And this is even the king of the Amalubi kingdom also participated. They are wearing white shirts. So this is also really a way of seeing how Heavenly Parents Holy Community could be expanded. And the third point, as you all saw, that the Chonil Sanctum was dedicated. And originally, that place was a Chonji Sonagwon. It was a museum because national restoration had not been accomplished yet. But after the restoration of 7 nations and 7 religious groups, on that foundation, Mother changed their name from Chonji Sonagwon to Cheonwon-gung, and it will be the central headquarters of Cheonil-guk that will control the entire world. And since 7 religions had been restored, and since Heavenly Parents Holy Community had been proclaimed, then Heavenly Cheonwon-gung was dedicated. So Family Federation is really one of the branches of Heavenly Parents Holy Community, and the Chombo families are the substantial living temples of God. And that is why Mother proclaimed this on May 8th. So all of this content really connects to Heavenly Parents Holy Community, and that is why we had the Cheonwon-gung and the Chonil Sanctum, and that is why Mother dedicated the framework of Cheonwon-gung, and you all saw this. And the completion of the Providence was accomplished. You saw these videos, you remember this. And you can see that this is the framework, and it is written, the dedication of the framework of the Cheonwon-gung, Chonil Sanctum, and it is written Han Hakcha, True Parents of Heaven, Earth, and Humankind, and Emperor of Truth, Virtue, and Righteousness. And Dr. Balcom mentioned that just as in the time of Solomon, they really had the tabernacle, even better, we could see a greater victory this time through the dedication of the framework of Cheonwon-gung. And through this 7-year course, we really could see that at the age of 16, 17, she made a pledge to be the mother of humanity, and her resolve was coming true. And you also understand what was the providence of restoration. As I mentioned, there's because 7 nations were restored, true parents as the Lords of Truth, Virtue, and Holiness. We have because we have 7 religious groups as the true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. We have the internal Cheonwon-gung, Chonil Sanctum, external Cheonwon-gung that were dedicated. And at the age of 77 years old, Mother restored 7 nations and 7 religious groups. Aju, this is really incredible. How is it that the providence is fitting so perfectly? So if the providence does not match perfectly, it cannot work. It is because of True Mother, the only begotten daughter, that this was possible. Let us give another round of applause to express our gratitude to True Mother. The 4th miracle are the rallies of hope and the launch of Think Tank 2022. And these think tanks, these rallies have their hopes, have their aim as the realization of a heavenly unified Korean, heavenly unified world. And when Mother proclaimed the Heavenly Parents Holy Community, Mother said that humanity should know and attend God as the Heavenly Parent. And this is very important. And we had COVID-19 also, and I remember until we had this digital platform. This digital platform, no nation has it. No religious group can boast of the level of digital platform that we have. And the Mother established the best digital platform that is more powerful than an atomic bomb, but more powerful than a hydrogen bomb. And we had the first all the way to the 6th Rally of Hope. And in the 6th Rally of Hope, 1.7 billion people, more than 400 broadcasters were really touched worldwide. And we really could see that based on this platform, the True Mother personally really guided humanity to understand that God is the heavenly parent of humanity. And it is exactly 1 year after that we were able to touch 1.7 billion people. Believe and it shall come true. Mother's words came true. I believe that this is Mother present. The launch of Think Tank 2022 was not easy, and in Europe also they made tremendous efforts. Mark Bren, Jacques Marion, Dr. Otska, and also Dr. Balcom, they all worked very hard, and they had difficulties because of the Schengen Treaty in the past, but this time we made a breakthrough in terms of VIPs, and also America as the eldest son nation tried tremendously hard, and also this time in Korea, the 5 sub-regions, the governors, the mayors, parliamentarians were now contacted. So all of this is really thanks to Mother's incredible work. This is my presentation. 1.7 billion people were touched. I cannot believe it even now. And this is really Heavenly Parent's gift to True Mother. And this is not just a gift that Mother received. She really completely dedicated herself. This is a miracle. And Think Tank 2022 is not just in Heavenly Korea, but also will connect to the Heavenly Unified World. It will be the brain of Mother's think tank. You all know these VIPs who are working with us, and we will now have the think tank forums, local rallies of hope, and also we are preparing. This year is the 30th anniversary of True Parents' visit to North Korea and meeting with Kim Il-sung, and we're mobilizing our entire Worldwide Foundation, preparing for the summit on peace in the Korean Peninsula. And next time, next week, Dr. Yoon will have a meeting with Prime Minister Hun Sen, and also around November 30th, we will have a World Summit 2021. The fifth miracle is a new era, a new springtime, where we celebrate Heavenly Parents' Day, True Parents' Day, and the Holy Wedding Anniversary of True Parents on the same day. And this is really an incredible day. This is where the substantial, the vertical True Parents and the horizontal True Parents are completely united as one. And also going from the winter period all the way to the springtime, where we're going from the evening to the morning, when the providence of creation began, symbolized by this time. That is why last year Mother said that the Heavenly Parents' Day, True Parents' Day, and True Parents' Holy Wedding Anniversary should be celebrated on the same day. And that is why over the past year, following the proclamation of Heavenly Parents' Holy Community, we had the Seonghwa anniversary, and in February we had the growth stage celebration, and we are now in a new era. And this time in April of 2021, we celebrated the 61st anniversary of True Parents' Holy Wedding Anniversary. We are now in the perfection level stage. And you have all of these events that took place last year: True Parents' Ascension Anniversary, True Parents' Holy Wedding Anniversary, and also Mother mentioned that this is the sixth most important point: innovations in organization, ministry, worship, and church, centering on Heavenly Parents' Holy Community. So centering on Family Federation and UPF, Mother proclaimed that these two organizations will be the two main pillars of the umbrella that is Heavenly Parents' Holy Community. Until now, we need to believe in God, the Heavenly Parent, and in True Parents. But we need to also complete the 4 realms of heart and the 3 great blessings. We need to experience the 4 realms of heart and the 3 great blessings. You cannot learn how to ride a bicycle just in theory. You need practice. And that is why under Heavenly Parents' Holy Community, we needed to really have witnessing candidates as peace associates. These are witnessing candidates. Right now, the standard for witnessing is very high in our church. For example, you need to have 430 couples. Our members are amazing. So that's why we need to start at the lower level. We need to have peace associates, witnessing candidates, members, blessed families, and then Chonbo families. And also, because the level of a member is so high, we need really to have associates. So these are people, whether they're Christians, Buddhists, from Islam, they can all come under Heavenly Parents' holy community. We need that culture, we need that standard. That is a peace associate. And this peace associate has one duty of being awake to the fact that God is the Heavenly Parent. So a peace associate is a witnessing member who knows and realizes that God is the Heavenly Parent. And what is a member? It is a person who recognizes and accepts true parents as Messiah, as true parents. So what is a blessed family? A blessed family is a member who receives the blessing. And what is a Chonbo family? A family who recognize that they are the treasures of heaven and must witness and bless 430 couples and 430 generations, and begin with witnessing 43 couples. So there are three blessings: the perfection of character, perfection of the family, and the perfection of dominion. This is a path that we've never walked. This is a path we need to walk in substance. So over the past 60 years, through the 60-year history of true parents, we can see that after the 6,000-year history of the providence, a new era has begun. And in the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve, we really should have walked the path of Chonbos, but only true parents walk this path. So even I am going this path. So we need to go it together. It is not just one person who does it, something we need to do it together, share it together. We should realize this as a teamwork. And this is the path that we must realize as the path of, it is called as the path of Chonshim Chonbo. So we have peace associates, members, blessed families, and Chonbo families. Through this roadmap, we can really have the path of Chonshim Chonbo families. We can innovate in terms of organization, ministry, worship, and church. So among these four innovations, this is organizational innovation. And on October 11, Mother proclaimed this. You all remember this, right? And Mother restructured 9 regions. Korea became a special region. We had the regional presidents, chairs of 21 and vice presidents. And also, we had innovation in terms of worship services. We had the chairs of 21 representing the first generation, and the regional presidents representing the second generation, and the regional vice president and vice president representing the third generation. And also, the Family Federation and UPF in Korea was really restructured completely at the sub-regional level. We have different departments of church and general affairs, church growth, future leaders, family department, blessing department, and the same structure will be established in each region around the world. And the blessing and the family department have been separated because the blessing will focus on second and third generations, and the family department will focus on raising Chonbo families from blessed families. So, and also worship innovation. And in this era, under Heavenly Parents' Holy Community, for everybody to join, we all celebrate Sunday as the holy day, as a holiday, and we also have Anshi-il. So the regular Sunday service is really a culture where anybody can come, and we call this worship service a peace festival. This is really a peace worship, that anybody can come. And right now, our worship service is based on Christianity. We have a sermon, we have a gospel, but even the Catholic Church doesn't have a sermon, they don't have a gospel. But in this area of Heavenly Parents' Holy Community, we need to change. So for example, in Christianity, they have a pastor. Because they are pastors, they have their sheep. It is a relationship between a pastor and the flock. And the pastor has the staff to guide the flock. And when there are some wolves, they can fight and fend off the attacks from other people, and they have a cannon. Therefore, from Christianity, the pastor really requires charismatic leadership and guides and also orders the flock. And in Gapyeong Sorak, when I go out of Cheonjeonggung, everywhere is just greenery. But in the Middle East, for example, it's not greenery, you have deserts. So when you see all of the culture we have now has been Christian, but we need to really improve it to Heavenly Parents' culture, the era of Cheonilguk to the Cheonilguk culture. So the worship service is the essence, and worship is a very Christian term. We should change that. So Sunday, the regular service should be a service where anybody, open worship service where Christians, Buddhists, Islam, Buddhists can come. And we had the Willow Creek Church, they had the Cell Church, and they had the system of having 12 apostles, and the 6 of them, they had the 12 people, and 6 will build relationships. And then the 6 of them would also multiply the number of people. They were very successful with Reverend Bill Hyberson, but what he said that we failed because growing in numbers does not guarantee qualitative growth. And I don't know how this will be translated in English. This is really, the Peace Festival is really a worship service for witnessing candidates. So this is really open. But if we have a worship service that is too hardcore, we cannot have people come. They will feel discouraged. And that is why there are 2 worship services. Anshi-il worship service, which is very internal, and the Peace Festival, which is more open to everybody. So that is why there's been innovation in terms of worship service. And as I mentioned to you before, in the era of Heavenly Parents Holy Community, we have the Cheonil Sanctum, which is the abode of God. We have the Cheonbo families, which are the substantial sanctums. And we have the Holy Community churches, which are branch sanctums. And that is why it is important to have Cheonbo families and branch sanctums connected together into the Cheonil Sanctum. And this will be a fundamental church. And this is the providence that is unfolding. So you all know about the worship in terms of innovation. This is the roadmap that I mentioned. So therefore, we should go from the level of a peace associate to the Cheonbo family so that they can comfortably become members of Heavenly Parents Holy Community. We began that in December of last year. And based on that, from January, we began to change the worship format. For example, we had Hyojong testimonies, and this is a testimony of members who are living according to parents' words. And we also had the VIP testimonies, and also even the tithing in the era of the Old and the New Testament, not just tithing, or this is not just tithing based on Max Weber's Protestant ethic. It really is an offering of joy to heaven. So all of this has been changed, and in the part 2 we have entertainment where people can come and really celebrate, rejoice, and harmonize it together. So worship service is also changing. That is why Mother said we need to pour new wine into new wineskins. And that's why we've been having this different worship service in Gyeongwon, Jeolla, in Heavenly Japan, in Gyeongin, in Chungcheong, in Heavenly Japan, the 5th sub-region, the 2nd sub-region. And this week we will have the 3rd sub-regions, even the 4th sub-region at this. So all of this doesn't happen anyhow. It's really a roadmap of preparation. And also peace members, peace associates, they needed to acknowledge that God is the heavenly parent. So when a peace associate comes, we need to have a festival. What is a festival? This is really a festival given by the Mother of Peace. That's why it's called the Peace Festival. That's why on April 4, we had the International Headquarters Church. What was the theme? Who is the Mother of Peace? Who is the Heavenly Parent? Who am I? There were 3 themes, and there's no sermon. It is only testimonies and worship and praise. This is a platform where anybody could really join. You all remember this. What you need to remember is that with the concept of the only begotten Son, different religions cannot unite. Because in Islam, they recognize Jesus as a prophet, not as the savior. The final prophet is Muhammad. But if Allah is the heavenly parent, then there can be some harmony. And also in Buddhism, Amitabh, the fundamental entity is the heavenly parent. So under the concept of the heavenly parent, religious unity can be established. But only the heavenly Father, only begotten Son, only this male chauvinistic concept cannot unite religions. That is why Mother has emphasized the key word of the only begotten daughter, heavenly parent, that God has the masculine and feminine aspects. That's why we can see this change, and that's why on April 4, based on this platform, we had the testimonies, and this Peace Festival is going all the way to the district and the church levels. We bring witnessing candidates to the Peace Festival, connect them to our internal church service, and they can have maybe a 4-day workshop where they can become peace associates. And they can have a peace donation, and this peace donation, they can offer an offering, and then from there they can become members. So this is the roadmap we are following. So this time, on June 27, we will have our second Peace Festival based on the theme of joy. And all the regions who are interested, you are all welcome to join and participate. And the third is church innovation. And church innovation is not just in terms of a physical space. In the original Garden of Eden, the family itself is a family church, and the Chombo family churches are really substantial sanctums of Heavenly Parent's holy community. And that is why right now we can have online churches. Right now everything is happening online, and you have the physical churches and you have the Chombo family churches, and working together they can raise really cultural centers for future generations. Young people cannot be witnessed in the church. They want cultural centers where they can come and be connected to the providence. That is why Mother is really starting a new providence for young people. And also church ministry innovation. A blind man cannot guide all the blind people. Pastors must be the example. The pastor should not have this concept of a Christian pastor. They are pastors in Heavenly Parent's holy community. So we have the evangelist, the assistant pastor, the great pastor, the senior pastor. These different levels of pastors. And in Korea, the retirement age is 65 years, and we will establish that. But also, those who retire at 65 become elder pastors. So in the Catholic Church, you have the bishop, and then from bishop you go to archbishop, and you may be a bishop but an archbishop, bishop but also cardinal, bishop but also pope. So your responsibility changes. So we want to establish this kind of clear structure within the pastoral system, where pastors can also work and be recognized for their efforts, and we will expand this worldwide. What's also important, this is the essence, the Chonshim Chonbo path. This is the path for the perfection of the 3 great blessings of the spiritual self. It is not just the believing and ordering, like in Christianity. No. In the age of Heavenly Parent's holy community, pastors should be the example. As I witnessed 43 couples, this is what I learned. As I witnessed 43 couples, this is how moved I was. This is what I learned and discovered while witnessing 43 couples. That is why witnessing 43 couples is not just growing the church. It is my joy. It is my responsibility. It is my perfection of character, is my perfection of heart. So who should be the example? The pastors. And in Korea, as you can see, from November 11, this is on the 50th day, 75th day, 100th day, Mother listened to all. And during the victory celebration, she gave presents. And we had a special gathering of pastors, for pastors who completed the witnessing of 43 couples. There was a very careful review of all the people witnessed. And they all received this plaque as a Chonbo Education Centers. So we have Family Federation, and as you all saw, there's a Chonshimwon, and the Chonbo Education Center. They are the essential functions of Heavenly Parents Holy Communities, Chonbo Providence. So they are teaching people how to become victorious Chonbo families. This is the essence of the branch churches of Heavenly Parents Holy Community. There are about 100 churches in America. If Korea reaches 200,000 members, how many churches would we need? Maybe 2,000 churches. We would need 2,000 pastors. To expand that way, we need 2,000 churches. How quickly can we build them? It's not possible. But when we combine the Chonshimwon and the Chonbo, substantial Chonbo families, and the physical churches are just the physical locations, physical centers, then we can have the church not be focused on the location, but really on the Chonbo families and on also the Chonbo churches. So all this has expanded, and so that's why on November 11, Mother dedicated Chonshimwon and the Chonbo Education Center, and Mother gave us the path of the Chonshim Chonbo families. As I mentioned, we go from Peace Associate, Peace Ambassador, Member, Blessed Family, and Chonbo family. This really is a path of perfecting the three great blessings. And we need to, this is a path we must complete together. That is why in the future, we will have sub-regional committees, regional committees, international committee, and you will all share best practices. And we are going to interview also the victorious families, and we walk the same path. And also soon, Reverend Song Min-young of the Church Growth Directorate will give a report, and we're going to share. We're going to have interviews with all families worldwide, and those who really completed 43 couples, they will first be reviewed by regional committees, and after that we will go the international committee that will make the final review. And after that, we can really, those who have completed 43 couples, they will become vice chairs of Chonbo Education Centers in their respective areas. And lastly, I would like to really read one passage of Mother, and I would like to conclude. This is Mother's biography from page 317, and she says that even if it's difficult, as we bring the providence to the conclusion, we need to reveal the truth. We need to align ourselves like sunflowers. If we fulfill our responsibilities, we can realize the wish of humanity, the dream of humanity. The problem is, while Mother is alive on this earth, we needed to offer this result to heaven before Mother passes away. That is how blessed families can become the proud ancestors before future generations. This time does not come again. And the fact that this time when we are alive with true Mother, regardless of your age, this is the golden time of your lives. You should not miss this golden time. As you live together with true parents, we must make sure that everyone around the world knows that true parents are alive and are giving the blessing to people. All of humanity really must know about true parents and receive the blessing and live in gratitude and harmony with Heavenly Parent. We need to live in the kingdom of heaven on earth so that we can live in the kingdom of heaven in heaven. That is why our goal, the path we must walk, is but one. It is to stand before God and to become the proud sons and daughters of God. I received the recognition of God that my beloved son and daughter, thank you for your hard work. Thank you for contributing to the realization of the kingdom of heaven on earth. This is the golden time of your lives. Feel this in your hearts. Beloved pastors, leaders, and also leaders from around the world, true mother is really putting her life on the line. She's not just speaking empty words and slogans. Mother is walking a path of giving her life every day. She doesn't have to push herself, but she does. And the reason is because within her lifetime, she wants to bring victory to God. At the time when she cannot walk, when she has her legs are swollen, at the time when she pushes herself beyond the limits of physical endurance, Mother is working to bring victory. She's completely united with Heavenly Parent, True Father in the spirit world, and she is exhorting us. She is encouraging us. She is encouraging us, inspiring us, my beloved sons and daughters, to work together with her to bring about the realization of heaven's will. Let us really work as one with True Mother, and I'm confident we can bring great victory. I'm sure that this special meeting is a festival because you are all stars of heaven, of Heavenly Parent, and I'm sure that your achievements are bringing great joy to Heavenly Parent and True Parents. I would like to end my special report here. Thank you for your attention.